Hey, co-reporters, welcome back to my channel. There is a certain story taking over the internet right now. I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but there is a YouTuber who goes by the name of Colleen Ballinger. She plays Miranda Sings, and she's what I would consider personally to be an OG YouTuber. Just before we jump into some accusations being made against her by a former super fan, Adam McIntyre, I want to kind of give you some context on how I know Colleen Ballinger, aka Miranda Sings. I don't know her personally, but I do remember her from the early days. I was not a huge YouTube watcher, and to be honest with you, I'm still not. But I remember her from MTV. They used to have a show called True Life where they would feature different kinds of stories and whatnot. There was True Life, I'm deaf, True Life, I'm in the closet, True Life, I'm this, True Life, I'm that. And so her episode was True Life, I am a YouTuber, or YouTube is ruining my life, or something like that. And so in that episode, she had a boyfriend, and she would kind of complain about how she was forced to play this character to make money. There was no other job that would let her make as much money. And I believe being this character made it difficult for her to get a regular job anyway. So just from going from that's the last time I had heard of this girl, to now hearing that she had allegedly been grooming her fans, her underage fans over the years, is quite alarming. Okay. I watched Adam's video last night, late last night around 11 o'clock. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me take a look at what it is that this man is saying. So Adam is now in his 20s, but at the time he was 14 or 15 years old. And he's claiming that Colleen Ballinger, aka Miranda Sings, we're just going to call her Colleen throughout this video, right? He's claiming that she used to tell him to attack her ex-husband online, accuse him of cheating, all sorts of different things like that. It appears as though Colleen was also cheating on her husband before they filed for divorce and whatnot, just based on the subtext of Adam's videos and some of the facial expressions he would do. So he said that, for example, Colleen claimed that she wasn't cheating, then he'd make it look like, sure, Jan, you know what I mean? So that was something that he heavily insinuated. He claims that now that he has spoken out against her and her alleged grooming of him and other underage fans, her team has made a filter to automatically delete comments on her social media channels with his name mentioned, because a lot of people are tweeting or messaging or leaving in chats justice for Adam, or are you going to respond to Adam's claims, etc., etc. So in this screen cap that I've just put on right now, you see him pointing out how in a live stream that she was doing with Trisha Paytas for their podcast, comments mentioning him were popping up and disappearing almost as quickly as you saw them. And so he did have proof of that. He says that, again, his story with her starts when he was 14 or 15 years old, and he was a really big fan and everything. He caught her attention, and she started basically putting her to work for him. She made a group chat for him and other super fans to submit ideas, to bounce ideas off of, to act as a study group as well, and just like free labor, And some of the messages that she was sending in the group chat were quite disturbing. So I've got 2 screenshots here that I will go over with you. But like I'm saying, these things are disturbing. So I don't want to put the even more egregious things out there, right? Like these are already bad enough as it is, but the other stuff is a little too much for me. So as you can see at the bottom of this one, she asked the group chat of children if they are virgins. Okay. And so that already is odd for a 30-something-year-old woman to be asking a bunch of kids. And then she proceeds to ask them what their favorite positions are, which is highly, highly, highly inappropriate. And is it not criminal on some level? I wonder, because I can't see any planet where this would be okay for you as a grown-ass woman to be asking children this. It's just really weird, right? I think that there's a certain level of disturbedness going on with this woman. It sounds to me like something happened in her childhood for her to act like all of this is normal and acceptable, for her to have no shame in allegedly doing these sorts of things. In fact, speaking of her childhood and whatnot, I am going to be covering some of her family members, because it seems like there have been some very creepy things that her siblings have done and said. Or I think she's got an uncle as well. She did some very weird things with her sister on video as well. So stay tuned for that stuff, because it seems like it goes deep. It seems like she genuinely, and I'm not trying to take blame away from her, it seems like she grew up in a traumatic environment that leads her to believe that things like this are normal, right? It's not normal to you and I, because we we were not traumatized in this way, I would like to say, but I don't know, something happened here, and it's quite scary, to be honest with you. So one thing Adam also said in his video was that Colleen Ballinger allegedly gave him body image issues because whenever he would send photos of her, and so on his desktop, so you see a photo of him with Miranda Sings, and look at how young he was when he was dealing with all of this. When she was allegedly asking him if he was a virgin, when she was allegedly asking him what his favorite position is, look at that image of that child and tell me that that is acceptable. Because if you think it's acceptable, there might be something wrong with you too, okay? So at this point, she also kept on emphasizing to him and the other children, allegedly, that like being as skinny as possible is like the best thing. So anytime he would send photos, again, why is she accepting photos from children? Right? Just weird. Even if it's just like a regular photo, why are you asking these children in your group chat that you shouldn't even have with children to send you pictures? So whenever he would send pictures, Adam is claiming that Colleen would find aspects of his body that were really thin to point out. So, oh, look, your collarbone's showing. Skinny legend. Oh, look, your pinky finger is really thin. Wow, like anything. She would always compliment him only on thinness. And so he's claiming that that led to him developing body image issues that he still grapples with to this day. He was like, I just was always trying to keep my childhood body because I knew that she loved and prioritized skinniness. You know what I mean? So it's just really, really creepy, the sort of thing that is coming out. He's saying as well that she has kind of mobilized her fan base to attack him and claim that he is bringing up old stuff from 3 years ago, because he initially did speak out about his alleged experience with her 3 years ago. But he is defending himself by saying that a lot of the stuff that he reveals in this video, which I'm currently recapping for you guys, is new, is fresh, is never before seen things. So for example, he goes into cancer fundraisers that Colleen holds every year, and he says that there's some seemingly something shady about them, and that Colleen might not actually be transferring the donations that she receives from her fans to these charities, right? And so he is not outright accusing her of stealing, but he is saying, Colleen, I implore you to release your final financial records proving that you have been donating the full amount given to you by your fans to these charities. And not only that, let's see your own contributions to these charities as well. Because to be honest with you, it's crazy to me that someone as a millionaire can ask their regular fans, sometimes these fans are even poor, to donate money to causes, and they don't donate a single dime themselves, you know? So I would be interested in seeing those documents as well. And then he also did say, well, you know, he didn't say this, but this is what I'm going to say. Here on YouTube, creators have the option to host fundraisers for already established causes that where the money that your fans raise automatically gets sent to these causes. So they never touch our bank accounts, right? So when you see official fundraiser or whatever, and you see something that says this much raised or whatever, just know that that is legit, because the YouTuber is not getting the money directly in our bank accounts. That goes immediately to the cause. You know what I mean? So I think that in the future, maybe prioritizing those sorts of fundraisers versus ones where people promise to turn over money is a better idea. Just an FYI to you guys who are interested and, you know, kind enough to donate to certain causes. So going back to the free labor that Adam was providing when he was a little bit older at this time. Remember, his story with Colleen starts when he was 14, 15. Now here he is at 16, and he shows a lot of screenshots of her just making a lot of demands of him as a free social media manager for her, playing psychological mind games with him and everything when it came to meeting up with him. Like, she really played with this man's like mind, it seems like, from like the proof that he showed us and the stories that he tells us. And it's really unfortunate to see that, like, you know, children have such very delicate like psyches, right? Like, they're just still growing and learning to trust and learning everything in the world. So it's just really heartbreaking to hear that someone could play with people, allegedly, who loved them so much in this capacity. So Adam would do things for her, but sometimes she would want like extra things being done, like, you know, pretty much immediately, as if he wasn't in school, this, that, and the other. And if he didn't do it, instead of publicly thanking him for the work that he did do, she would go and thank someone else just to spite him. There was also a time where he showed her demanding that he try to reschedule his school exams when he was in high school so that he can go and see a performance of hers. you know, just a lot of really weird and inappropriate things going on there. And then there were videos being shown of some of the creepy stuff that she tells the children to do at her live shows and whatnot. Of course, I don't really want to show some of that stuff because, you know, you can find it for yourselves, but I do have to warn you that it is quite depressing, right? It's quite creepy. It's unsettling, I think is the best way to put it. Like, it's just really disappointing to see that this has been going on right under our noses over these past, I can't even say past several years, like a decade plus, right? Like, this is a lot to see and to hear. And I just want to take the opportunity to commend Adam for standing strong, sharing his voice, speaking up, and just sounding the alarm, because this is absolutely unacceptable. Everything that he is alleging. And it seems as though there are other children who are still in contact with Colleen via group chats, this, that, and the other. And maybe someone's who has been there speaking out and sharing their experiences, other people can see themselves in these experiences and recognize that what's going on is absolutely not okay. Hopefully they have the courage to tell an adult in their lives to help them get out of the situation if they're not able to get out themselves, and just spread the word. I think that these sorts of things should be named and shamed, right? I think that people who do these allegedly, right, who allegedly do these alleged things to very vulnerable people should be exposed. And so I definitely do want to commend Adam for coming out. And I would like to see a more formal investigation into all of his claims and into all of the other people's claims as well. Because to me, this is very serious, and I don't think that it should be swept under the rug. And I think that even YouTube should have some sort of consequence in place for situations like this. I think that child safety on YouTube should be a priority, right? Like, they've already started trying to launch certain safeguarding methods for children working on YouTube. But I think children fans should be protected on YouTube as well. So I would love to see them kind of come out and speak about this. I know they've spoken about Dramageddon. I know that they've come out about Logan Paul when he went to the, you know what, forest in Japan and showed some really horrific things. They've done some stuff, right? I know PewDiePie, when he said the N-word, that resulted in some things as well. So I think that this is up there as well and deserves to be looked at with a lot of scrutiny. So far, Colleen has not released any kind of statement about any of these allegations. She did the first time that Adam came out 3 years ago. She apologized, and then she tried to make it seem like it happened many years in the past and that she was so young. But mind you, this woman was allegedly in her 30s when these alleged things were taking place. So I don't think that that's a strong enough kind of excuse or a reason or whatever, but I digress. Right now, she currently is on tour, and she's also got a podcast with Trisha Paytas going on. So there are plenty of opportunities for her to speak up about what has gone on and really just kind of lay out what she's going to do moving forward, whether that's stepping back from YouTube or maybe retroactively compensating the children who were allegedly laboring for her for free over the years. I don't know what that looks like, but I would like to see her do something at the end of the day, because again, these allegations being levied against her are very serious and very disturbing. Are you aware of this story? Do you have any feelings about it? Let me know what you have to say in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.